Good afternoon, evening, morning to everyone here today, and welcome to Neon Lights Roleplay. In particular, welcome back to A Blade's Will, our combined episode number 3, part of our bi-weekly rotating Naruto Oneshot campaign. But enough about this. Let's introduce our shinobi of the Alliance and the Coalition. So in the order of, you know what, let's in the order which I call you out, tell us who you are, who you're playing today, and which side are you on? Start with DJ.
Yes, me. I'm playing Inuzuka Akihito, your neighborhood-friendly dog tour, and I'm on the side of the Alliance.
Alright, next up, Janie.
Hi, Janie. I'm playing Yamanaka Mari. I am on the side of the Alliance, I guess.
Fair enough. Next up, Rainy.
Hi, I'm Rainy. I am playing Kurama Chihiro, and I am on the side of the Coalition.
And last but not least, Vermin.
Hello, boys. Hey, I'm Legendary Vermin. I'm playing Tsubaki the Reaper, and I am on the side of the Coalition.
Alright, and I guess that just leaves me. Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'll be playing everyone who's not these guys, and also doing the scene setting, and I'll be your Sage of the Six Paths for today. As a reminder, this game is run using Kings Are Forever's Naruto 5e supplement, with our historical canon written using properties generational, so we kind of threw out canon. Sorry. Not sorry. Also, once again, we will apologize in advance for any butchering of Japanese. It's gonna happen. Sorry. Another thing, while our cast has taken steps to ensure everyone's comfort is respected, please, as a disclaimer, be aware that the show contains warnings for player versus player, violence, and in general, war crimes. So that's gonna happen. I'm sorry, it's gonna happen. Maybe not in this episode. I don't know if it did. Look, you guys are pretty chill, but you know, it's war. What can you do? But if at any point you feel that makes you as an audience member uncomfortable, including right now, please feel free to step away from the battlefront until you are comfortable or until next time. Either way, thanks so much for coming out to spend time with us. But to set the scene a little bit, it is the year 456 after Shinobi, beginning of July, and amidst dry, soaring temperatures, two camps prepare to brief their small teams. As the camera pans its way over towards the command tent of the 2nd Platoon E Division, there is a noticeable lack of people. The commander himself had rushed with Hayasagawa Aki back to the village hidden in the glaciers. Operations had stalled, and it's only now, weeks after the triumph at Yugo, that you are being called to investigate the Zeppelin. Please, let us know, actually, where Mari and Akihito, where are you as you are wandering the command tent, waiting for a briefing? What do you look like?
I can start. I don't have the fancy face makeup paint that Vermin has, because I'm not good at it, and it would just look bad, but Akihito does have similar looking paint from ear to ear, just along the jawline. It is painted to look like Skull's teeth, because Akihito is also a Reaper. Most notable, though, at his side is a medium-sized dog, so like up to just under his armpit. She's a tall dog. Is Suki, his Inuzuka companion. But I think he's kind of in a back corner in the command tent. He's probably been mostly focused on casualties and the injured and taking care of them since this Zeppelin attack, since it did leave a lot and some significant members as well. So that's kind of been eating him up on the inside.
And Mari?
Marty is chatting very politely to a couple of people that are in the tent. Probably there's not many left, but she's just very politely chatting like a normal person would. She's also wearing a long white nightgown, and her hair is down, so she doesn't look like she fits in.
You can see a few of what little shinobi remain milling about, just offering Mari a bit of a smile. But in front of you two is Naryu, brown, black hair tied up in a ponytail, looking incredibly haggard. He's your brilliant sub-commander of your division, but he also looks just distracted. Worried. There's a towering stacks of paperwork on, well, what's Shoji's desk, but what he's taken over for now, and with hands folded in front of him, what a mess. Right. Inazuka Akihiro, Yamanakamari, your orders. Look, as you may have recalled, there was, the Coalition had sent a Zeppelin after the Battle of Yugo. Our commander... Why did he have to go and leave right now? Anyways, I'm sorry. Our commander took care of the Zeppelin, but it's now that we've secured the area, we need you to scout the Zeppelin. We don't have many personnel right now. They've been busy weeding out some rats. But some intelligence reports, after we vetted them, suggest that the Zeppelin has a black box on it. Job is to retrieve it. I will advise you, though, that there's still a Coalition presence in the area, so make your way there carefully.
And that's it then? Just collecting this box and then getting back here?
Yes. That's all we need you to do. Don't go pulling anything too dangerous. Your teammates will be disappointed. Certainly I don't want Shoji on my back for losing another... well... Good luck.
And ask what's in this box that's supposed to be so important. Seems risky to be sending us back into Coalition territory when we know they're going to be swarming it after we took it down.
Well, after we secured the village, Yugo, we've secured control of most of the area of the Highwire Canyons. So you shouldn't be finding too much resistance. But the black box, as far as we can tell, has things like flight log records, maybe some details on the construction, valuable intelligence, which we're going to need. Especially going to need.
Let's just hope it's worth it then.
Yes. been a long.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, I think unless the sergeant, captain, corporal, military title had anything else to say, Akihito would have left.
Nah. As you leave, you see Nara. He's your sub commander, so directly under your commander Shoji. Just the hell is the alliance? Is the coalition thinking? How do they even manage to?
Mari's going.
Oh, I'm assuming you're following, or what would you like to?
Well, I'm going to stand there for a moment and just stare at them silently, and then turn and walk away.
Fair enough. And with that, with the camera looking upon the backs of our two shinobi as they leave, the camera will pan its way over towards the opposite end of the canyon, where the Iron Division barracks have been stationed. And I'd like it if if Kurama, Chihiro, and Tsubaki would tell us where are you? You're in the command tent, but where are you? What do you look like?
You want to go, Roman?
Sure. I think that how much of the camp is still intact where we are? Are we like in partial retreat already?
So your barracks is in sort of, yeah, it's like in sort of like a partial retreat. You've got a bit of a skeleton crew that's around for basically keeping hold of what areas you currently have in the canyon, but you've already after the battle where they secured the main route between the Alliance secured the main route, you basically have a token force of resistance to keep out the Alliance from the rest of the canyon. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So over the course of the weeks, I think Tsubaki is taking up the spot that over the course of the ongoing resistance, Sora would have been pacing along, and in like an echo of those shots, we see Tsubaki moving back and forth. She has the full skull makeup. They have their black robes on, and they just look super tired. Every spare moment of being in the camp has been dedicated to medical care, and while on paper, right, their chakra is at max, they are exhausted from the fighting and the rate of injury and the rate of casualty and the loss of life.
I think as we get that shot of the echoes of where Sora was, and then the fading over to where Tsubaki is pacing now, as Tsubaki turns to head back towards the back of the tent, I think at this point Chihiro just like pulls back the flap and has just veritably lifting on one hand a platter full of food that she had just made. She also looks, they absolutely look run down and worn and wiped. The most that Tsubaki has probably seen them in the past intervening weeks since healing their injuries post their first skirmish with the Zeppelin has been either between the training grounds, maybe here, but mainly in the chef tent, working with everybody else to get to keep the skeleton crew fed, to get the retreating force fed, and make sure they have their own rations before they're all set off and going to set up wherever the new camp is. The disconcerting, like, haze that has always been that disconnected, disjointed haze in her eyes has come and gone in the few glimpses that people have seen of Chihiro. And in this moment, she is back to a somewhat like, there's still a tiny bit of it in her eyes. But she's more clear than she's been the past couple of days leading up to this incident, or this time. And again, she's just got on one hand this platter of food as she walks in and just, Honorable Reaper, good, I found you. You skipped breakfast.
I was distracted. Thank you, cousin.
You're welcome. And she'll just hand over the platter. If you do not mind, I have to visit my aunt and make sure that she is not under papers again.
There is a desk that is stacked with piles of paperwork. Like, you can hear like a bit of a muffled cough as like some of the top papers start floating off. It's like, Chi-Chi, is that you?
Yes, Aunt Aka. Here, you also skipped breakfast. How many times do I have to tell you?
It's like, well, you and the Honorable Reaper have a guest with a mission for you. And like, she sort of like guessed with like a bit of a drawl and kind of a scowly voice. As from the flap of the tent, you're not sure how you didn't notice it beforehand? Well, you can, I assume, Chihiro might know how, but, why don't you describe how this man looks to you?
Oh, okay, so, I will drop, for our wonderful friends in our Discord chat, I'm gonna drop, a reference pic crew, as I try to paint the picture of this absolutely ragged and tired to the bone, very much older gentleman. As Tsubaki gets a look at him, they can already clearly see the immediate familiar resemblance between Akane, the woman leaning out of the pile of papers on her desk, and the man that just walks in. Same dark navy hair, the three share, and the same sort of like smoky red makeup, except for this one, he's got just the faintest of inner corner lines, very much more purple eye bags. He's just baked in exhaustion. Like if he was born exhausted, it seems. Just that sort of perpetual set scowl. As for the clarity in his eyes, that's up for our honorable sage to describe.
There's a bit of a haze as sort of glances and offers and a very deep bow to Tsubaki. Honorable Reaper. And then he walks right up to you, Chihiro. Looks very closely into your eyes. Oh, another Kurama. Well, you should have had no trouble dismantling the Genjutsu layers we put in place. Yes. I'm
And
sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, at that moment, like Tsubaki and both Akane just see that just drop from that pleasant smile that Chihiro had when she walked in to just that, right.
Ah,
Yes.
yes. Everything will be fine. Oh, yes, your mission. We need the two of you to go find the black box in the Zeppelin. And from here you can see he's not quite looking at either you, Chi, or you, Tsubaki. He's kind of like staring down the middle. Like there's something there, but it's not either of you two. It's like, yes, and right, the location. It's hidden behind a couple of layers of quite brilliant working, if I do say so myself. 3 layers of genjutsu. You should, with another Kurama, you should be perfectly fine with finding it. But it's where was it? Second deck. It's in the gondola. In the smack dab in the middle. You can't miss it. Oh, And here's the key, and he's going to go over to Yuchi and hand you a Fujitsu seal. It's like you, like, pick up your hand, put the Fujitsu seal, and just you'll need it to actually unlock to get the black box out of its seal.
And Chihiro just gently folds her hand and just nods. Of course.
Do I know you? And from the corner, like right behind you, Chihiro, you hear, "You dim-witted fool! That's your daughter, you piece of shit!" And with a sort of Akane picks up a piece of like a large paper heavyweight and throws it at his head. You can see as it actually like smacks right into his face. He doesn't dodge, and with a split second, you can see sort of clarity comes back to his eyes. He gives you another look over.
I imagine at this point he's probably got like, because again, she's still wearing her half mask, and it's just got Chihiro's cheeks in her hands, like, you know, just like looking at her, like
squishing it, and it's like, no, my precious Chi-Chi-B is a Chunin. What are you doing here? Last Katone told me you were still a Genin. It's not a surprise you got promoted fast, though. My baby girl's the best. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, Honorable Reaper, but isn't she just the best? Look at her. It just squeezes into her.
Your progeny is an excellent soldier.
It's like, yes, he is. And he pulls, like, he lets her go, pulls out a wallet, and just says, look at her. This is her getting graduation photo.
Oh god, Chihiro just like, if she could hide behind her giant fan, she would. But she's just like pulling up the half mask higher, just oh no.
It's like, oh, did you know the first time she made real genjutsu, it was absolutely wonderful. She brought me a real flower. I mean, it did try to bite me, but it was just absolutely oh, and just a few years back when she used her mom's fan, yeah, she cut through. I mean, she did slice through the shelter, but it was powerful and it's so beautiful, and I hope you have a wonderful time working with her.
Her performance has left nothing to be desired so far.
I thank you for the kind words, Honorable Reaper, cousin.
Oh, well, wait, if you succeed in this mission, I'm sure I'll get to have another picture of you.
Sad.
Oh, come on! I mean, if you finish this one, this is almost a Jonin level mission.
We'll see if Commander Aburame is feeling up to it.
I mean, hey, just have to get one with you and the Honorable Reaper, right?
We'll see how this mission goes, Father. And Chihiro just hands him the plate of food, and then sort of just sets an extra one next to Akane's desk, because I know you're going to skip lunch. Father, make sure you eat, please. You've been working apparently way too hard again. This is the 4th time I've ran into you in camp, and you've not noticed me.
He wilts a little bit. It's like, of course. And he and just like he's like crying, like a bit of like crocodile tears. And he starts eating. He's like, it's amazing, delicious. All right, I won't keep you. Just go have fun.
You didn't tell me that your dad was every dad from a reverse harem anime.
He's
Oh, that's not in character, to be clear.
I know. I was just like, I was like, I want Goofy Dad, and both Michelle and I were like, so he was from Full Metal Alchemist. He was from Full Metal Alchemist.
See, I was thinking the the dad from or on High.
That too.
All right.
But yeah, no, as I think as we take that last lingering shot there, with that just slight bit of a sort of like just a very apologetic look towards Tsubaki, I think that's where the scene sort of fades out from the coalition side.
Oh, actually, I would love to get a shot of them walking outside the tent.
Yeah. Do that. I'm sorry.
Like as they take their leave, Tsubaki will, once they're like out of earshot, kind of look off in the distance and say, "You are very lucky to be doted on like that by your family." And then we take a reverse or like a shot back into the room, and that like plate of food that was brought for Tsubaki is untouched.
All right. Well, with that, we move to our travel. I will like to ask you, do you guys want a break right now, or are we good to move on to the travel?
I think a
Keep
break would
going.
be appropriate. Or,
Oh.
nah, whatever.
Okay.
I forgot ears. I don't have ears.
You're all good. But so how this is going to work is I'm gonna give you. We're gonna take a little. We're gonna yank a little bit from Turk's oath sworn. So thank you for that. Sorry, Turk. I know you're in the chat. So this is I'm gonna tribute this to you. So we're gonna give you two options. You can either move stealthily or quickly. And if you're going to move stealthily, you're gonna have to make a stealth check. Fast is a harder check's probably athletics. And I need each of you to make that check. When you do so, you can argue to me any sort of jutsu that you're using to improve that check to give you an advantage. To if you want to add stats to improve your roll, but you can only use one jutsu per round. Whichever team makes the most passes for the number of rounds, and there will be 3 rounds, you will get an advantage on, you will be able to get to the map first, and you will then get advantage on your next rolls. So, for our go, we're going to start off with the Alliance. The two of you can individually pick stealthy or moving quickly.
Mario, what are you thinking?
Well, considering I don't have any bonuses in either of those,
you can assist each other with, you can cast jutsu on the other if you think it would provide an assistance.
The only problem is I have literally nothing that can help.
you say.
I mean, I was gonna argue I could maybe use 4 legs technique to make myself a little bit faster, but I got nothing for stealth.
Okay.
I'm a punch boy.
Mari, if you have any genjutsu, I can, if you want, use those.
No, I'll just wander in my white gown.
All right, cool. Then, if you're gonna use, Akihito, if you're gonna use your 4 legs.
Yep, 4 leg technique.
Then go ahead and make that. Go ahead and make an athletics check for me at advantage.
Fantastic.
And Mari, go ahead and just give me a flat stealth roll.
I did great. Is 12 good? Is 12 a lot?
12 is 12 is not
The
going
number.
to pass.
Or I'm sorry, is it -20 because Turk gave us so many minus rolls?
You can use those +2s if you would like, but
Yeah, you did get a nice pool of +2s.
Got a
No,
10.
I'm not on this.
a 10. A 10 is also not going to pass. All right. So as the two of you arrive at a canyon cliff face, it seems you're a little bit stymied by the ability of getting down a little bit. Chi and Tsubaki, stealth or quick?
I'm not good at stealth. But I do have a genjutsu that I could argue for making us quicker? Question mark? I have mind-body recovery, so if we just ran without taking any breaks as fast as we possibly could, I feel like technically it gives you HP, but I like the idea that like we just don't feel sore, we don't feel tired, we just fucking run.
I was gonna say that's a really good one, but also you don't really need to use it on yourself if you just keep on boosting me, because Tsubaki, if you do not mind, I think after that brief bit, we just pan to a shot of just Hiro just like having you scooped up princess style and is just bamfing teleporting with you. I have additional passenger. So if you're willing, I just go. So I'll use this one round to cast one of my whirlwind steps.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Okay. Roll wind step. Wind step is that's a movement jutsu, right?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and make that roll with advantage.
Excuse you, it's a scoochment jutsu?
Scoochment jutsu. All right. Go ahead and make that roll with advantage. Vermin, since you are an additional passenger, you will automatically pass if the Chihiro does.
All right. So I need to roll. So the first one is a 17, and that's my pluses, my dex.
Yes. Well, actually, you're doing athletics, so I believe that's
Athletics.
If you want, you can also you could argue a different one, but
Can I argue my dex because my strength is a -1?
well, you could argue a different skill. You two said,
Oh,
but athletics is the one that we're using, which
Acrobatics.
is a 24. So 24 is a pass.
Oh, 24? No. My dex is like for chakra control. I'd argue it's my chakra control for the plus.
I don't think we're taking a chakra control, but
That's a 2d20, so it's not actually a 24. It's a 17 based on advantage plus something.
I forget the advantage command.
well,
That's-
you rolled
that's what
you rolled a 17, you rolled a 7, and the 17 is a
The big one. I'd argue my acrobatics instead of my athletics for my
Okay.
+3.
so for a +3 for a 20, and a 20 does pass. So that's a pass for Chi and a pass for Tsubaki. You bound your way where our two folks from Alliance were stymied a bit by the cliff face. You just leap right over the edge and bounce your way down. And now, next up, we find ourselves on opposing ends with heavy winds and what looks like a sand pit that spans the stretch of canyon that you must needs get through. So, once again, to the Alliance, is there anything stealth or agility, as it were?
Can I use my not valid points that I gave myself?
You can use a genjutsu that you have to for stealth.
Okay, so you're not gonna let me use my 10,000 bonus.
You can use your 10,000 bonuses, yeah.
No, I'm joking. I was joking.
Like not like, but like you have a bunch of +2s. So if you want to use those +2s, you can go ahead and use those +2s.
Yeah, sorry, I was joking. I gave myself a huge bonus. I was just joking around.
We get it. It's good.
Fair
You're
enough.
good, Mari. Or Jamie. Oops.
I don't know my name anymore.
Yes, correct. Both of those are correct.
Both of those are correct.
Nailed it.
Nail.
Try and get across sand, huh?
Yep.
Sand. Oh shit! This might be easier for tunneling Fang to just basically drill through it.
All right. Go ahead and make that. You're trying to go quickly, right?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and make that check with advantage, please.
That is way better. That's a 16.
All right. 16 is a pass for Aki. Mari, what did you?
I guess I'll just run for it. Yeah, why not?
All right. Go for it then. Oh, where's your -2?
Where's what?
Oh, Lucian was asking where's -2.
I think it would have been used on
It would have been used on
Chihiro's
mine, but
24. Yeah, so it
but
would have been a 22.
no, the 20. So I don't know how to roll
It
advantage.
was it was an
roll 20.
18 if
It
the
was-
-2 fired, but we did we
Didn't
agree to
notice
the -2 rule that we talked about before stream started?
Oh no, this one was specifically to the
From
next.
Lucian.
It was a -2 to the
Oh,
next
okay,
one.
to the next roll.
Lucian specifically declared that one, but we
Got
didn't
it.
catch it. We didn't
That's
catch it when I rolled.
It was still an 18. Michelle, would that have still
Yeah.
passed?
18 meets a beats. It would have passed it.
Okay, cool.
So I don't have to do a -2.
No,
You don't have to.
you're
-2.
good.
Go
You're
ahead.
good.
Just roll flat.
It's -1. Oh my God.
With a 19, you flat out pass.
Yay! Congrats.
All right.
Yeah, that was I can't believe I got a nat 20 on that.
Nice. All right, Chi and Tsubaki. How goes?
Oof. Do we want to continue on? As we
Look,
are?
if you're willing to carry me the whole way, I'm not
I am willing to
complaining.
carry you the whole. This is why I took the
I am
spat.
not-
I am
Athletic. Yeah.
This is why I made Chihiro the way Chihiro is.
All right.
Steve is
So
a
I
punchy
don't-
boy, and I'm all about healing.
I also heal, but through the power of my punches.
Fair enough.
Listen,
My punch
you don't need
gives
to
me
heal your.
super heals.
So say you don't need to worry about healing your people. If you already beat the enemies.
All right. So Chi, I'm assuming you're still carrying Tsubaki.
Yes, and
you
since I
gonna go-
can't.
Oh, I was gonna ask you, you're gonna go the stealthy approach or the fast approach?
Speedy, because I've got enough chakra to worry about that. So yeah, same as before, whirlwind step and additional passenger use and abuse, as it were. So
Alright.
another roll.
Yep. Give it a go. It's a roll. And I'm assuming you're still using your Winjutsu.
Yes.
All right, roll that with advantage.
Okay. We're just gonna resort to physical dice, because I can't remember commands. And there goes all my pencils.
Bye, pencils.
Hi, pencils.
You sure you want to stick with physical dice?
This is the first time I've pulled these babies out of the bag, and they have decided to be angry. That is a 5 plus my. Can I argue for my +3? And can I actually use one of the +2s? I know that's gonna help.
Do it, homie.
Can I use? Thank
Whatever you want.
Steve. Thank you, Steve. Can I use 2 +2s, please? From the steel pile?
You have
We have-
35.
11 of them.
We have 11. It's
mean, if
fine. I'll
you-
just use a +2.
Okay. What's the total then?
So that's a 5 plus a 3. That's 10 flat.
I'm afraid you're not gonna pass, as the spit catches the two of you and starts, well, pulling you in.
Shit.
You
Um,
managed to get yourselves
oh.
out, but you're a little bit slower now.
That's great. I'm sorry. I'm
It's all
sorry,
good.
Tsubaki.
I'm the one who let you put the team on your back with no assistance from me, so.
It's fine. You managed to escape before you drowned in sand.
Oh, we wouldn't have drowned in sand. It would have been fine. I
Tsubaki
got all
would've-
sorts of spooky tricks.
As the four of you make your way through the canyon towards Yugo, you find yourselves on the open. So at the bottom of the canyon is open. Not really plains. It's still rocky, but heavy winds blow through, pushing against you as you make your way towards it, towards what remains of the Zeppelin, which you all four of you can see in the distance. Alliance, please, are you going to be approaching stealthily, or will you be making a fast check? Please keep in mind you are close to the Zeppelin now, though.
I'm gonna try for stealth. I don't know how well I'll do.
Alright, would you like to use a
Yeah.
genjutsu to try and give yourself an advantage?
I don't think I picked one for that. But it's okay. I still look really cool because I look like a spirit or something because my gown is like looking in the wind.
Hey. Alright, go ahead and make that stealth check. Akihito, what are you going to be trying?
Words are hard. Being a ninja is hard, guys. War is hard. Being a ninja is hard. Being a doctor is hard. I think he's just gonna try for stealth now that we are closer. Like I said, I have no jutsu to help. Spree, don't. There's jokes I can make. This is a family channel.
Well, you guys have
Exactly.
+2s if you want to use any of them, so don't forget those.
No. Okay. What? Hold on. 19.
19 is a pass. Mari, would you like to use any of those +2s, or are you gonna stick with your...
No, I'll stick with what I have.
Alright. So, Akihito, I guess you and Suki managed to make your way forward, paving the path for Mari, who keeps getting blown back by heavy winds, which scatter dust into your face and almost loses Mari in what looks like a dust storm that kicks up. Tsubaki, I'm assuming Tsubaki is still on. She's back. How are you making your approach?
I think at this point, Chihiro would, because we're getting closer to the Zeppelin, Chihiro would look up at like, just sort of look a little, like, up at Tsubaki. You want down now?
I thought you were carrying me princess style.
I was, actually. That's fair. I'm still, she's just, like, looking at Tsubaki. Want down now?
I think it would be best if we made our way on foot from here.
Of course. And just as easily as Chihiro had just, like, scooped Tsubaki up, Chihiro just gently sets her down. And just sort of does a very slight bow before going and just hiking up her half mask a little bit higher, just to rework that seal as she just goes in for the stealth.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak in too, and I'm gonna use my Kudogan to see into the future to know if people are gonna see us.
Alright, Tsubaki, you can make your roll with advantage. Chi, are you gonna do anything to try and give yourself an advantage to stealth, or no?
No, I've, like, depleted 12 of my chakra already. I think I should save some of it right now, so...
Shh, don't tell them that.
I'm sorry.
Don't let them know.
The enemy will always know. I'm a bad liar. And a terrible
Looks
friend.
like she has less chakra.
quick.
You know, I don't think I have another jutsu, I think that'll help that.
That's a 15, baby.
Alright, so we've got a 15 out of Tsubaki, which I believe is a pass.
Yes. Yeah, nope. I'll just go with it. So we're gonna roll stealth. Which thankfully is... Looking at our sheet. Sorry, I apologize. So that didn't even get into my rolling box.
Are you gonna re-roll it, or are you gonna stick with it?
I don't know if it counts because it didn't even make it into my box.
Schrodinger's dice. Michelle just gets to decide if you failed or not.
Sudden death.
I will just be fair and I'll use the roller on this one.
Oh,
23.
23. That is a definite pass. Okay, so tallying up in total, we've got, as the four of you make your way towards the wreckage of the Zeppelin, we have a total of 4 passes from Steel and 3 passes from the Alliance. So, if we make our way to the Zeppelin, I would like to ask Chihiro and Tsubaki, are you approaching from the east or the west? So the front of the or the back, left or right?
I did not write
What
down.
side looks like it's easier to get into?
Yes.
Okay. So the front of the Zeppelin is, from what you can see, it's got a couple of boulders jutting out through of it, while the back, the back has been blown out. You can see the gondola has got some bits that are, the walls have been smashed through. Probably the windows are open a little bit too. Easier. I mean, they're about the same. You feel like you'd have no trouble coming in either way. You're gonna have to climb up and get into the gondola either way. So
Through the hole.
Through the
all
hole.
right. So you want the hole in the back from
The butt.
Sure.
Alright.
Yes.
All right, then
The
I
butt.
will.
Without any other meaningful tactical information, that sounds more cinematic.
All right.
Through the more open back actually would make the best sense, yeah.
All right, then Mari and Akihito, you will be approaching from the opposite end, which actually, hilariously enough, matches up perfectly with which direction you'd be coming in from Steel and or Heaven anyways.
Ooh.
All right,
Fantastic.
and you find yourselves at the Zeppelin. Let me quick dump all of your tokens in the correct layer so you can start moving. Now, in accordance with how we're gonna do this, yes, we're gonna go to break and let you guys all make your initiative rolls because now we are all on the same map. So, Spree, when you have the time, please take us to break. But first, please, everyone roll initiative. If you're on the coalition, you can go ahead and make that roll twice as you've gotten here first.
Yay. Like with advantage or just...
Yes, it is an advantage.
No, just roll it twice for funsies.
I forgot that 2 to mine. I pressed enter too soon.
It's okay.
That's fine.
Greetings, everybody. I got advantage and still only got a 10 on initiative.
That's
Tsubaki.
some medic rolls, Tsubaki.
Tsubaki.
That's a nat 20. That's a nat 20.
Hey, look at her go.
So I got a
It's the
19.
fast one, and the slow and thorough one.
It is a 25.
All right.
My 2. I didn't add my 2 to it when I rolled.
That's okay.
That's
We can
fine.
add it in post.
It should be 19.
Wow. All right. Well, with that, I think now is a good time for us to head to break. So don't touch that dial, and we'll come back as soon as we're all ready. See you in a bit. Hello, and welcome back to A Blade's Will, our combined episode. We find ourselves at the Zeppelin, where our two groups of the Alliance and the Coalition, also by the way, Akira, you can move yourself anywhere within that blue box, and they are going to be investigating, trying to find the black box hidden somewhere on this devastated structure. Now, whether or not they actually get into a fight once they meet each other, if they see each other at all, is another question entirely. But as it is, Chihiro, you have the first move.
Right. I do that. I do have that. I would like to, I guess, make a perception check first, as a bonus action.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Physical dice, don't fail me now. Ooh, that is a 16 plus 9, so a 25.
With a 25, perception. What are you using for perception? Are you?
I will be looking. I'm looking directly for where the black box. I know my father specifically said in the gondola, but I guess I'm looking. I guess reaching out more for perception, just looking to see if there's a specific disturbance that Chihiro would know her father's genjutsu sort of has.
Okay. So you're looking specific for signs of genjutsu.
Yeah, like a mirage in the desert.
Okay. As far as you can see, in the immediate area, there's or at least in the immediate visible area, you don't see anything. So as far as you can, you get a little bit of a ping that's further in, but otherwise you have at least what you can see right now, nothing.
All right. Chihiro's gonna look over at Tsubaki. I'm gonna take the first on this. My dad's. As much as I love my father, Riku, Kurama, his genjutsus are rough to sit through.
I'll be right behind you every step of the way.
Thank you, cousin. And Chihiro will just tentatively take, I guess, I've got about a 30-foot move speed. I'll just take about 15 feet out of the red box and into the dilapidated ship. Gently stepping over corpses and just trying not to focus on them too much.
Yep. I mean, there's a dead body right next to the entrances, a little impaled, so...
Yeah, and you just... And specifically, and specifically, as you know, Tsubaki can hear Chihiro just mutter, poor soul, as she just passes by the corpse, the impaled corpse.
This right here, by the way, is a stairwell leading down that's about 10 feet in height.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's, I guess, I know the ping didn't give me a specific direction. Is that the general feeling, that stairwell?
You're getting a general feeling that it's like, see, your dad told you somewhere around the middle, so you're
Yeah.
getting a general feeling it's like somewhere around here-ish. You're not particularly sure where. It's just, you know.
Mhm. But I remember being on the ship is I could potentially sidestep that stairwell.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, screw it. I'll use the rest of the full 30 of my movement, so I think this will be... I think this is where I'll end up.
Alright.
So, that's where Chihiro goes. Just quietly and, just carefully into the dark, not quietly.
Alright, anything else that, you'd like to do?
No, I passed my turn.
Mari, it is now your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna take just my movement towards the I don't know if that's pointing out where I'm looking at.
Alright. I'm assuming you're heading somewhere towards the Zeppelin?
Right here. I think. Where is the... Is that in the middle? The shadow?
You're heading here?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a hole in the floor, by the way.
No, I don't want to fall to the floor.
You don't want to fall on the floor. Alright, so you're gonna head here? Yes?
Yeah.
Alright. Is there anything else that you'd like to do while you're here, Mari, or is that all you're gonna do? Just move?
Yeah. Yes.
Alright. Then Akihito.
Alright. We're walking up here. I'll just keep pace with Mari, especially so that I'll put a hand on her shoulder and cast Aid. I'll bump it up to B rank, so you get your max HP and current HP goes up by 15. As Akihito kind of just puts his hand on his shoulder and lets that chakra go through you, kind of whispering, I know it's been rough the past few fights, so I promise I'll do better to keep you safe this time. And then, can I just make a perception check to see if I can hear anybody close by?
Sure, go ahead. You're trying to hear, right?
Yeah.
Alright, and I think as an Inuzuka, do you get advantage on those checks?
No, it's not advantage, but I get a crazy amount of bonuses, so I have plus 13.
Alright,
Let me make sure I did that right. Hold on.
Alright, go ahead and roll that.
Yeah, half your level to the roll. Don't worry, if I survive 6 more levels, I just get a flat extra 10 to any roll. So 16. I rolled poopy.
16. Let me see. The 16. Tsubaki and Chihiro, if you'd like to counter roll with a stealth. But what you can hear, Akihito, definitely, is from somewhere around here. You can hear the whir of like the low hum of machinery. You're not sure if it's anything important, considering that you can also hear gears clanking from the various machines around here. In fact, you also hear a bit of a collapse from over here as some wood splinters and gives way. Ooh. And
I got a 19 on that stealth though.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Well, that was my counter for the stealth. I rolled a nat 1. I interpret that as do you want to do psychic reaper bullshit?
Psychic Reaper bullshit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're like extending your senses, and there's also like a certain way that we are trained to like sense chakra to help find like people during disasters, and there is an immediate like familiar vibration on the other side of the ship.
And I add some more special Inuzuka shit to that. To be like, it's that, and then like another sniff, and it's just like there's some chemical in the grease paint we use that like is specific to Reapers of Bear. Okay. Oh.
I mean, I haven't said this, but I'm like 100% sure that the base substance for it is human fat.
Mm-hmm. It has to be.
I mean, it makes sense technologically speaking. Yeah.
Also,
So, yeah.
you guys do take care of a lot of dead human bodies most of the time, so you would have very good access to human fat stores.
So we can use paint and soap. Or is it? Wasn't that what they used in Fight Club? I don't know. Anyways, yeah. Akihito will just take a few more steps towards that direction and like just kind of motioning with a hand that like he just like points to his ear and then up ahead like hear something that way. And that'll be it.
Alright. If that's it, then Tsubaki, you're up. I'm imagining that residence allowed you to. I'm not sure.
No, I'm not reaching out in the same way right now.
Ooh,
I
okay,
think.
okay.
Not yet.
Not at this moment. So what Tsubaki is going to do is similarly kind of like, oh god, hey, can you ping where Rainy is? Because I can't see
Rainy is
Chihiro.
right here.
Okay. 1,
I'm
2,
sorry.
3, 4, 5. It's not 6.
It's a little funny, sorry.
Honestly, this darkness thing is looking real rough.
It's very hard to see what's going on.
Let me see if I can't reveal the area for you then. Give me 1 second. Explorable darkness reveal. Beep.
30 feet. Oh no, that is 30 feet of movement to get to there. Okay.
Yeah, I counted it out. I just did it in 2 chunks because I'm a goofus.
Yeah.
Gooficus Maximus.
The goofiest!
Alright. Anything else you'd like to do?
And yes, please. I am also going to cast aid first because aid does not require concentration.
We're mirroring our aid casts, alright.
Yep. It's like the normal thing to do, I think. That's usually my first turn in these games anyway.
It makes sense that Tsubaki wants to make sure that they don't have to immediately heal their buddy or buddies.
Okay, you're gonna gain. Oh god. 8.
And
Sorry, 19 additional HP.
Additional, not 10?
10. I have a very high wisdom bonus, and I upcast it.
okay, I might be looking at an outdated one. Mine doesn't say to add wisdom to it. Otherwise,
I probably have something for medical ninjutsu that gives me extra juice.
oh, I bet because I went combat nin, so my med. Okay, that's probably what
Your
it is.
med not
That is-
as
yeah,
good.
that'll be exactly what it is.
The
That makes
extra.
more sense.
It's the menin juice.
It's the Tsubaki just hands you Tsubaki's special juice.
My Tsubaki's special juice is human fat smeared on her face.
Anything
Do
else?
I get anything else with aid?
That's I think that's all I can meaningfully do here.
Alright.
You know what? I'll listen as well, but we'll see what that actually. I have a passive investigate. Or wait, I have a passive perception of 19. Could my friends roll stealth against that?
Yes, please, guys. Go ahead to make those rolls. Akihito and Mari.
We psychic link. I rolled an 8.
Do you want to be dramatic and anime about it?
Absolutely.
I love dramatic. I know that was my I love dramatic and anime.
Yeah. I think what happens is we end up seeing each other across the battlefield, and it's like, feel free to like add your own cool shit to this, but like, we get a cutaway where it's like gray clouds surrounding everything, and we both see each other, but we see each other as we've seen each other without makeup.
Ooh.
And
Like the real you.
Yeah, and like, I also like the idea that like, on some level we can see each other, we can sense each other's hearts beating, and in the anime that would be like the outline of like whatever color you imagine your chakra gives off, and then the like occasional twitch of that heart, the rhythmic twitch, I guess.
I don't want to add anything because that's just beautiful.
Great. Yeah, they lock eyes. It's
Yep.
dramatic.
And you've also said Smari, so.
Oh, okay. Two of them up
I just
ahead.
like to imagine also
We're not
Mari
alone.
and Chihiro just noticing the two Reapers just stop and stare into the distance like, what the fuck is going on?
No, Mari is just she's in a place mentally right now.
We all are. That's more.
Yeah, I'll say that Tsubaki also recognizes Mari's like chakra because of their last encounter.
Yeah, it's
There are 2 Alliance soldiers up ahead. I know them.
Oh. Interesting. All right. I'll let you take the lead if we have to talk.
Just focus on getting the black box so we can get out of here.
Keep them away from my father's genjutsus if you care about them.
And Tsubaki will nod. And then I'll pass my turn.
Alright. Chihiro, it is now your turn.
Of course.
Don't
I
forget, you
had
can also
one.
take the dash action if you'd like.
Yeah. I think I can. However, I don't know if the dash. What dash does to me.
Ooh, fair enough.
Gives you your speed again in exchange for a bonus action.
Yep.
Which I could just do body doubling or body flicker instead.
Fair enough. You can yump.
I can yump. I can yump. I can yump. I'm a human. I'm human. I promise everyone, Chihiro is very serious. I, however, am not. I'm a silly little goose, and I belong in silly little goose jail. So I will use. I'll use my action to cast. Actually, body flicker uses my bonus action to cast that. So I will cast that, and just going off of the fact that I'm closer towards the middle, I'll just zip. Because at this current point in time, I did roll that 19, so I know Akihito hasn't noticed me quite yet, but with the body flicker and now the zip, I'm pretty sure I'm a new and odd chakra sense to him. So I'm
Alright.
Did you
I'm
succeed your
recognizing
stealth
that I'm
check?
breaking. I'm recognizing that I'm breaking stealth, but it's fine. I'm human. So I guess 60 feet ahead towards the center, considering what Chihiro relatively remembers from being on the Zeppelin.
Alright, so you pop out right. Oh, Zoodler.
Okay, thank
You pop out right here. Just barely not okay. Let me reveal this area. You are somehow not like right on the edge of where the what Akihiro had just heard as the floorboards crashing down, as you like land right on the edge, and it sort of bends a little bit. It's a little concerning, maybe a lot concerning, but you land fine.
Yeah, Chihiro just like, oh, and just sort of steps back a little bit closer towards the more stable part of the floorboards, and just sort of sits, I suppose, because she can't really do a whole lot else. So I passed her.
All right. You're not gonna use your movement for anything. You use your bonus action.
I believe that actually doubles my. So body flicker lets me double my speed until my next turn. So that's
Got
why I have the 60. So I use my full 60 from body flicker to move. And I can't use a bonus action skill check because casting that jutsu used that action. So I can just say I make a chakra control check to pinpoint my dad's jutsu as a more conscious action. That's all I can do.
Anything that takes a bonus action, I think, can be done as an action. Like, you get an action and a bonus action, and I'm pretty sure most bonus actions can be done as an action instead. Isn't that the case? Or am I thinking of a different system? I might be thinking
Probably
of a
different system. Because Naruto 5e is based off of D&D 5e, and I can
They are
see
not interchangeable apparently.
I can see the argument for that skill check though, with being used as an action instead, because
it is a skill check, so
it is an active check, not so it is up to you. Oh, great sage. I don't have to do a skill check. It's just a potential, I could trade my skill check bonus action for the action in place of that jutsu cast, but if you veto that, I'm happy to pass it on.
I think so we're at the top of the round, so keep it fair, everyone, so that this will be true for everyone then, which is you can use your skill check to replace either your bonus action or your action. If you're using it in place of your action though, I think because an action takes longer, so we will allow it.
Okay. Thank you. And I'll remind everyone else of the board of this too. So I said chakra control. Yes, I did say that. Those words did come from my mouth.
You did say you wanted to do a chakra control check.
Alright.
I would take illusion if you wanted to, but
Oh, illusion? Oh, I should have rolled illusion.
Unfortunately, you rolled a 9.
I rolled the 9. I specifically called chakra control, not illusion, because I have a Genjutsu-based character, but your girl hasn't really remembered that, so that's on me. I'll remember for next time when I want to hunt down my dad's stuff. It's fine.
That's fair enough. I feel like, look, I'd like if this wasn't a PvP, I'd be like I didn't see it, but
No,
But
I also directly declared the name of the check, and that's unfair.
Yeah, so if there's anything else you'd like to do, no, you've used bonus action, and movement. So, Mari, it is now your turn.
I I am just going to use movement again.
Okay.
And I'm going to... Oh, wait, I'm not moving.
That is measure. That's a measure. So you can
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm going to kind of take this... Oh, there's a body there. I'm going to step over the... Not, like, step on the body, but... like
Presumably, unless you have, like, a very high passive stealth, would I be able to hear them moving?
I don't know what my passive stealth is.
I
It'd
think
be
there
your
is no
whatever
passive
your
stealth.
stealth.
You'd have to roll with stealth, I think.
Okay.
So if they wanted to actively hide themselves, they'd have to roll with stealth.
But they already know that we're here, right?
Well,
Yeah, but I
Tsubaki
don't know
knows.
where you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know you
Also-
exist.
We don't know that they know. Well,
Okay.
And also, at current right now, Akihito has not sniffed out, pun intended, Chihiro.
Well, I have 0 to stealth, but I'll try to roll it.
You can do whatever. You got +2s.
Let's see. If neither side tries to be stealthy, they automatically notice each other. Otherwise, we compare dexterity checks of anyone hiding with a passive wisdom score.
I got a 9.
Oof. Alright, so you definitely can't hide.
We love the 9s in this house.
the number. Not in
anything
this
else you
case,
could-
but it's a good number.
It's a
Fair
good
enough.
number. It's a solid number. It's not too low. It's not too high. It's very nice middle ground. And it makes good pan.
And stealth. Well, I walk that way. Not very stealthily, apparently.
Fair enough. Is there anything else you'd like to do? You could try to do an illusion check to see if you can't determine or you could do some kind of check. You don't know that it's disguised by a genjutsu, so you could do some kind of perception check to see if you can't figure out where.
Can I do a perception check?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. $27.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah. All right. With a 27, how are you trying to perceive? You're using your sight, your sense of touch, smell, sound.
I am. How am I using? I guess sight. No touch.
If you're using sight, hello.
I mean, as a Yamanaka, couldn't you like just kind of be searching for other mind waves,
That too.
Could I?
other mind meats?
Other mind beats.
Could I do
All
that?
right. With a 27, I think you'd be able to. You repeat again to me what you're using again? Sight or?
Mari was wondering if they could use instead, like, because they're Yamanaka, they could search out like mind waves, because that's what they do.
Ooh. Okay. Well, with mind waves, I'm gonna need Chihiro and Tsubaki to both make stealth checks.
But how does
And-
one hide their brain?
I don't know.
Yeah.
15.
And yeah. So you
12.
definitely notice Chihiro, like right here.
Okay.
Or at least you definitely hear, like you definitely brush up against a mind, one that feels twisty. Like you've come across like the Kraken before. That was very twisty, but this is a human kind of twisty, and it's a little different for you.
You heard it here, folks. First, folks, Chihiro's brain is twisty.
Actually, real quick, is that a saving throw that I'm making?
I believe it is a stealth dexterity. Let me double check the.
if it's
I
if it's
might-
like against Janie, wouldn't it be a saving throw?
Yes. Go.
Okay.
Or contested check.
Or it's a
Okay.
contested check, really.
Oh, if it's a contested check, then I don't get anything. If it's a saving throw, just let me know because I get advantage on all of
It's
those.
compare the dexterity checks of anyone against the.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's still 15.
Okay, so 15 is also not going to pass. So Janie, you brush up against Tsubaki's mind. However that feels is up to you.
Christy is fun.
You hear the echoing of chains and the cawing of crows.
Okay.
Dang.
I do not react at all.
And yep. And with mind waves, I think you cast yourself out with a bit of chakra where your mind sort of like bounces off the things, and you, on the way back from feeling Tsubaki's mind, feel yourself caught a little bit fuzzy around the edges over here.
Okay.
Like there's something. It's not a mind, but it's like it's enough. It's the feeling's enough to give you like a like your mind feels a little bit twisty for a second as things start to blur a little bit. Like there's another layer to the world. Like you're seeing colors that weren't there before.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to do?
I don't. That was a bonus action, and I made my movement. Correct?
Yep.
So that's all I could do, wasn't it?
You have one action if you'd like to do anything.
I can't think of anything right now, so I'll just stare in that direction that I'm going.
All right. If that's it, then Akihiro, it is your turn.
All right. So confirming that there are people here, I will try and be quiet. We'll see how it goes. Not well. I'm not even gonna tell you the number because it doesn't matter. It's that low. So I mean, believing he is stealthy, I'm gonna continue up this way. Okay. So I know we're looking for a black box. Is this Zeppelin mostly made out of like wood and iron?
This Zeppelin is made.
Good
Yes, it's
Zeppelin,
made
yeah.
out of wood and well steel.
Steel.
You can see worked into the wooden walls that there's some fuinjutsu that's etched into it, reinforcing the frame. There's a reason why not as like why this gondola is mostly intact. It's because they reinforce the hell out of it with fuinjutsu.
Gotcha. Okay,
Like
so
stronger
knowing,
treated wood and steel.
yeah. Okay, so feel free to say no, but this is a wild idea. Knowing that the black box has to be something strong to survive a crash, can I try and like smell for like any different sort of metals or minerals and like picking up something that's at least different? Or like I'll take a no because it's under other genjutsu and like just too far away.
Yeah, it's under genjutsu right now, which is kind of messing with your senses. So I'm gonna say no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, that's completely fair. Like I said, it was a this is the only thing I have right now type of idea.
Right. I mean, like, yeah. So like you can hear the hum of machinery, you can hear some other things, but yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be it then. He'll just try and like think he's well hidden behind this wall here.
I mean, I can't see you right now.
You can't,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Suki's tail is just wagging above the bar.
I
Alright.
love Suki. Yeah.
Alright, give me a second to Yep. So if Akini, if you're not gonna do anything, then I guess it's Tsubaki's turn, and I'm gonna fix some not being able to see things.
Yeah. So
I think.
I need my measuring.
Yeah, I think I need to give you some permissions on the
Okay.
characters.
Tsubaki is going to move and dash to like here. I think that's the thing that I got. I can see Mari now,
Okay.
just
Can you
barely.
make your 10 height difference down and up?
Huh?
There's a here. This stairwell is 10 feet going down.
Oh.
And then
So I'm
this
here.
this level is at the same height as this level. To get a
Yeah,
dash
I
up.
wasn't trying to go up. I was just trying to move across the deck.
Right. So the deck. So this deck here and this deck here is level. This deck here is 10 feet below, but they're not. It's not a contiguous space.
I'm a ninja though, right? Can't I just jump?
You could jump if you want to spend some chakra.
How much chakra is it to yump good?
That's a good question.
It's like 1 or 2, right? It's like almost nothing.
Yeah. So let me double check that one. Yep. I'm gonna. Yeah. We'll say you can spend a chakra for every. I think it's a multiply by strength.
That doesn't make any sense for my
Yeah.
strength score.
Well,
That will
you
reduce
know
how
what?
far I can
Screw
jump.
it. We're gonna keep it simple, and I'll figure out rules for this later. So spend 2 chakra for every. So spend a chakra for every like what is it? 10 feet that you want to jump.
Okay. It looks like I jumped about 20 feet, so that's 2 chakra.
All right.
But yeah, I kind of leap across that gap. I land. It looks like I can see Mari, but I also, for whatever reason, I can't like see through. I can't see through here. Is that intentional? It's all like dark and shady in this zone.
I believe I revealed that area. So. Oh, there we go. I did not. Let me see how things are looking too. Okay, and can you see now?
Kind of. I'm really not used to the fog of war on this, so.
Oh.
But I can definitely see Mari. Okay. So how far are you? Is that 45 feet? 55 feet. Yeah, Tsubaki lands and has like spear drawn, but not in like a particularly combative stance.
Mm-hmm.
It would be hard to see at this distance, but I think Mari could notice that like Tsubaki has the like changes from like violet eyes to the white iris of like an active Kudogan on one of her eyes. Hello, Mari. Akihiro, I know you're there.
No, you don't.
I'm not interested in hurting either of you. But it would be best if you left. And that's where I think anything else I can do for an action that would be worthwhile.
You could poke Chihiro in the butt. Just kidding. You know,
With the spear. Just go, yeah.
yeah.
Sure. Hey, Mari, make a genjutsu saving throw.
Okay.
Or a wisdom saving throw. Sorry.
Okay. Don't worry, I'll find it soon. Okay, where it is? Okay, I found it.
Yeah. Should be at the top of the sheet on the left hand.
Yep, you got a +9, by the way. Oh no!
Hey.
Oh no!
Hi. You are afraid. You get a saving throw to end this effect at the beginning of each of your turns.
Rank 1 is a disadvantage on ability checks. Ouch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 rank of fear.
Also,
Against
cannot
me.
get closer to Tsubaki because of feared.
Yep.
I think what this looks like is the camera like switches to Mari's perspective, and the paint molds more clearly into like an actual skull visage, and that sound of like chains and crows comes back, but you're actually hearing it now.
That's so anime. I love it.
Is there anything else you'd like to do, Tsubaki?
No, I'm gonna wait for them to talk to me.
Well, you made me afraid. Now I don't want to.
Alright, anything you'd like to say, Akihiro, before we move on to Chihiro?
I didn't know if we were waiting for our turns, if we wanted to.
Oh,
roleplay
no,
in the
speaking
battle.
is a free action. I think.
Monologue.
Yeah. So, being seen, despite his incredible to pull back the curtain, it was a 4. That was my stuff.
Incredible disguise.
Incredible.
Just Suki.
She just smelled Tsubaki coming and then just like put her paws up on the railing just to see her. That's
If I'm supposed to be
somewhat
able to see you, I can't, because I would do something different if we're within line of sight.
I don't know if we are. Yeah,
You are
Yeah,
not
I'm
in line
You're
of
just
sight.
up
10
here.
feet below, so you're actually not within line of sight for Tsubaki. It's like, unless she can like see, like you're like right at that angle.
Oh, okay.
You're like pressed against a wall underneath
Yeah,
the other side.
I misread which way the stairs were going, so
That makes sense.
you can hear us. But
Okay.
yeah, you can,
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
yeah,
Great.
I gotcha. Yeah, that's
Is that-
refreshing to hear. And spot another Reaper here. We're both a little out of our element, though. I don't think either of us can leave.
Nonsense.
Do I hear this conversation?
Oh yeah. Echoey probably from wherever you are, but
Yeah, I'm just ahead of you, like on the edge of a broken, almost jumped too far. Got a little too
can't
much juice
see
and
you.
jumped in.
Like I fully can't see anything in the middle of the ship.
That's funky because I am right here.
No, I have no idea.
Gasp!
My
Shock and awe.
roll 20 is having a hard time.
How dare your
um,
roll 20 do this to you specifically?
Tsubaki says,
Give me 30 feet of night vision, see if that doesn't fix things for you.
oh, it does. Tsubaki will say, either of us could leave if I hadn't helped you back in the Summons Village. I trust you put that information to good use. Saved lives.
As many as I could. Still trying to do that out here. But neither side is making it easy.
I think that's a good place to just pass turns on.
Yeah.
Alright, then Chihiro, it is your move.
Well, considering that everyone seems to be ignoring her, Chihiro's just gonna take this moment and run with it. I would like to use my bonus action to make that illusions check for my father's genjutsu.
Go ahead and roll it for me.
All right. Oh, didn't do that right. That's a 25.
Alright, cool. You sense your father's genjutsu right around here, and as you concentrate on it, you can see the shimmer of the genjutsu concentrated right here.
Right here-ish?
Yeah.
Then Chihiro will... I'm just gonna move myself up that way.
You wanna try breaking it?
Yeah. What do I need to do?
Well, you can either try to use a genjutsu break on this, or you can try to pass it by using or making a genjutsu or illusion skill check to see if you can't tear down each layer. I will say though that using genjutsu break will be a lot more difficult. You're going to be trying to tear the whole thing down in one go.
Let's go layer by layer. Chihiro definitely would attempt layer by layer because past experiences with training with her father on doing multiple layers at once hasn't taken very well, and she knows that. So, I suppose I will attempt to rip the genjutsu down because Chihiro is not going to make conversation if nobody notices her.
All right, so this is going to take an action.
Yes.
Please make whatever check that you're going to be using. Are you going to be using your genjutsu, your illusion, or...
My genjutsu would be plus my wisdom, right? I don't know if genjutsu is a specific one. Illusions would be it, right?
I believe illusions is actually in it. Yeah, I believe illusions is the actual skill, so go ahead and make that check.
Alright. 20.
Is a pass. You tear through the first layer of this genjutsu, shattering what is, what Mari had first brushed upon, which was that extra layer to reality, which was those colors. You're pretty familiar with that kind of thought feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty common idea with your dad, where it's just sort of like almost like an alternate reality where the world just doesn't, there's just a completely different world, and as you can see sort of this room that wasn't there before begin to almost shimmer itself into place.
Alright. Nope. I used my movement, I used both actions, I will pass turn.
Alright. Mari.
At first, I'm going to steal all the good rolls back.
Fair enough.
I need to make a saving.
Yeah, wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
That's a +9, right?
Yes.
No.
Well, it depends on what your wisdom actually is, because wisdom save, if you have proficiency in it, it would be...
It does. That's why it's a +9.
Yeah.
Yep.
24.
That will break the fear.
Oh, good. I'm no longer afraid. So that was my action, correct?
No. That just happens at the beginning of your turn. Okay. So, you are still afraid of me until the end of your turn.
Oh.
You also have to do a saving throw at the end of your turn to reduce the fear against me. It stacks at the beginning of each turn, and you can reduce it at the end of your turn by 1 with another saving throw. Cause fear is miserable. And cheap.
We live in
Inexpensive, I should say.
Missouri.
Don't know what to do then.
So until you make a saving throw to reduce it, you just have disadvantage on skill checks against me, and you can't move closer to me by your own free will.
GM,
Just nick her brain.
would just a thinky thought here. Would Mari have noticed that first flare break because Mari brushed up against it on her way back? Pet.
I don't know. Would she have?
I'm just thinking. I'm just asking the thinky thoughts because my brain's just like.
Up to you guys. Mari, would you have noticed?
I think so.
All right, then.
I
2
just don't
layers
know-
left.
I don't know what I could do because I can't move.
You can move away.
I don't
You can't move closer to Sabaki.
Yeah.
You can
You
move
can move closer to
sideways.
me.
Yeah. You can also like cast any of your jutsus.
It just
Would be at a disadvantage. Well, no, you're
Well,
not.
only if you're
Attack roll.
targeting me.
only at Tsubaki.
Yeah,
I
as long
will-
as you're
I-
55 feet away from me, you're good.
I also will say, there is the twisty brain of Chihiro right here. If you want a different target.
Yeah. Get into that twisty brain. I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
You just want to kill me.
No. So, no.
Please, Janie, you know me. I'm here for the drama.
I'm just here to
Murder
try and
is just an
explain-
excellent byproduct.
Also, I'm just here to finally explain what the fuck goes on in Chihiro's head. Because it's terrifying. The horrors persist, and so does she.
So could I do?
Also, by the way, non-targeting jutsu also still work on Tsubaki. You just can't.
That's
target
true.
Tsubaki.
If you have an AoE, bada bing, bada boom.
Fireball.
So I could do mind body transfer.
You could certainly try.
No,
Can we try?
You can do it on Chihiro if you want to attempt. All right, hit me.
Okay. You have to. Wait, what is it again? The Christmas saving throw against?
It would be against your Genjutsu save DC, which is probably
Pretty high. Yeah, it's 17.
Okay, I'm gonna. Do that.
does that have hand seals?
Yeah. It does. It does.
Our voice?
Yeah, okay. And okay. So I'd have to beat an 18. So I've got about a 50-50 chance of doing.
But I don't roll anything. It's a save.
Yeah,
I have to
but
make the save. But if you have hand seals, and this is a jutsu, I believe.
I
Tsubaki's
can
attempting
shatter it,
Chakra
Okay.
shatter.
which I will do.
I'm still gonna roll the save. That's. Do you want me to?
Oh, if you want to roll the save, go ahead.
So what? What do I do?
I'm.
You don't have to do anything. You just have to wait for whether or not Rainy is actually affected by it.
Okay.
I rolled a nat 20 to shatter your chakra. So spend the chakra, but it doesn't happen. No, Mari, none of that.
No visitors.
Okay.
No brain visitors, unfortunately.
No
Okay.
visitors.
You still have a bonus action if you'd like to use it for anything, though.
No, I'll just try to make my save again.
All right, go for
Hey,
it.
wisdom saving throw.
That good save.
10.
Ooh.
Okay, so you're still going to be afraid next turn. You don't have to do the save at the beginning of your turn, but you still have to make it at the end.
So it's still level 1?
Yeah, still level 1 fear.
All right. Is there anything else I think that's it for you, Maria, unless there's something else you'd like to say?
No.
All right.
Mhm.
Akihito. And Suki.
Okay,
We can't
one-
do Suki.
It's Suki.
Never forget Suki. A quick question, because that'll affect the flow of what I do. Can you, like in regular D&D, can you hold a jutsu to cast at a later point? I would
I'll allow
assume
it.
no. Okay.
I will allow it.
So, hearing most of this coming, there you are. Well, let me measure it
I
out.
think the rule with that is it has to take your reaction to do.
But first I will come over to Mari, and just kind of quick in some like, I'm gonna say bone dust. This again, we don't have material components, but I will cast restorative, so that'll eliminate the fear effect. That's just cleared from your mind. Just draw like a quick little seal on the forehead, and then it goes. And then, so I have 15 more feet, so I'm gonna start making our way down here. And so I'll hold. If Tsubaki takes any hostile actions towards us, I'll activate it. I'll activate Strength of 100, but for now, you'll just start to see like along his veins and like his chakra lines this dull gray glow of like just preparing that.
Can you define hostile actions?
Any negative effect sent our way. So whether like if you attack us or cast another debilitating spell or jutsu.
Haha.
Cool.
I mean, it is not.
I love the dynamic that is going on here. Of like, it's functionally just us powering up at each other, like doing hand seals and talking.
And then, and you just
but
got
like-
Chihiro here.
But
just like-
nobody's moving to attack.
and then you got little lockbreaker Chihiro just like,
When you do the seal on Mari's forehead, you do get a tiniest smile, which is the most reaction that she's had in like days.
Aw, it has been a harrowing few days. But yeah, just facing down with Tsubaki. I assume we both have our own motivations for joining this war, but I don't think creating more dead bodies is what either of us truly want to do as Reapers. I don't know how to go forward from here, but I know I want to end this. And if that black box is a way for us to end this, I can't leave here. And that'll be my turn, because we go right to Tsubaki afterwards.
Hey GM, if I choose to stand here, are you gonna make me do anything unfun? Because I like the drama of standing on a plank.
and the play.
Yeah, I want to be like on the edge of a plank in front of this pit.
Just
I'm
for the
gonna-
metaphor, can we both be literally on the edge
Yeah.
of this
The
hole?
planks, the planks, the planks, the planks, the planks.
You know what?
You're not gonna give me like disadvantage or make me make dex saves. It's just I just want to be there for the drama.
I mean,
the
sure.
visuals.
Like it is a plank that you can just stand on the plank. You have chakra.
Okay.
Stick yourself there.
They both find the most stable planks for this stare off.
The most stable planks
Dramatic.
that look dramatic sufficiently.
Where are you, Aki?
I'm at the top of the stairs. Yeah, I've lost sight of now Tsubaki and I never had sight of Chihiro.
Maybe I need to go delete some walls.
Delete all the walls. Yeah, because I can't
Delete some
see
emotional
Mari.
While we're deleting physical, metaphysical, emotional walls,
Oh, screw it. Let's just delete all the walls. Or here. Wait. Can I put a light in here?
I think
Light. I just can't see Tsubaki or Mari anymore either.
Yeah, so.
Okay, screw it. Where is it?
I just.
Tsubaki is going to kind of walk to the edge of the plank and say, taking that black box home is also not going to save lives. It's simply going to teach the Alliance how to make war better. The only way that you can kill this dragon is by tearing out its heart from the inside. We, on the Zeppelin, crushed the resistance that you sent at us. And somebody I respect very much forced us to retreat when we could have laid waste to Yugo.
We all can hear this, right?
Yeah. I can't return home empty-handed. They look at me and see one too many crimes as it is. Go home. So this is not a hostile action as you defined it. I am going to be using hand signs and chakra molding, but I am going to basically like do some hand signs, and my Kurugan goes from one eye to both eyes, so it's just better. I'm also going to shove a chakra pill down my throat.
Oh,
Nice. All right.
nice.
Also, welcome, Raiders.
Hi, Raiders. We're in a
Hello,
ninja
Raiders.
standoff.
Bye, guys.
The two Reapers are just out here like, hey, we can't do anything, and I'm just. It's fine.
Nice.
It's fine. Nobody's gotten hurt yet. That's good.
Give me
Great.
a turn.
So that was a suboptimal roll.
Oh, it's 10 chakra, still 10 chakra. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's an action and a bonus action.
All right, Chihiro. It's now your turn.
Wait. Terrifying. Again, not being directly addressed, I'm probably not gonna say shit, because this is, A, really interesting to listen into, but also B, Chihiro doesn't feel like she has the means or the needs to interject. Because Tsubaki, as she said, she's letting Tsubaki talk to them. So, keeping pace, keeping course, I want to tear down that second layer, please.
All right, give me an illusion check, please.
That's a 16.
16. A 16 does not pass.
Oof. Ouch.
Yeah. You try to destroy the second layer of the Genjutsu, and you've seen your father's works before, and you tore through the first one so easily it was almost too easy.
Child's play.
And as you reach out to tear the second one, it sort of rebounds a bit back towards you. You feel yourself almost lost in a maze of twisting, turning mist. Like for a second, it's almost like the pipes, the steel that makes up the Zeppelin, starts to warp and almost tries to capture you. The only reason you haven't, you sort of like back out away from it for like a quick second before it reaches out and engulfs you.
I think outside nobody sees Chihiro. Just Chihiro braces. She knows that it's been like this every single time she's tried to gone through multi-layer genjutsu so far. She always fumbles on the second layer. So she just braces as the pipes just seemingly encircle in, and Tsubaki and everyone that can, see her, see this. For the two Alliance crew, you see this nin covered in the general padded leather armor, and a giant fan just folded and holstered in a sash against her back. Navy hair tied up into a now messed up bun from the multiple whirlwind steps that it took to get here. Just maybe one of the 3 bone pins starting to just peek out and start to fall out. Just you watch as her body just sort of tense up, and just you can't see her mouth, but there's still that noticeable tensing in her jaw and her neck. She just fucking get it together, Chihiro. But that'll be it.
Right. Anything else you'd like to do?
I've made my action, and I don't know if I can do anything else. Considering that Genjutsu break takes a takes a regular action, I believe. So.
All right.
Yes.
Then we'll pass it on to Mari.
So you were the reason that building was destroyed?
What?
By the Zeppelin.
No, that was not the attack I launched with. We didn't end up dropping any bombs, right?
Mm-mm. I don't remember.
I was on the first run of the Zeppelin. None of the consequent ones.
Okay, you see her.
We had fair skies, and almost no distance to cover to Yugo. We turned the ship around, and my friends are facing punishment for it.
You just, I think she looked kind of more tense than normal, but then when you said it wasn't you who blew the building up, there's like a little less of that tension. Wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. And I'm not afraid anymore, correct? Or am I still afraid?
Yeah.
You're afraid until the end of your turn, at which point you can try to unafraid yourself by 1 level.
I cleared that with restorative.
Restorative.
Oh yeah, okay, you're not afraid at all anymore, so you can scooch. I forgot about that. That's my bad. Saz.
Hey, that's why we all keep each other in check, and this is why I write notes.
So how far?
These notes are not going so good.
So this is like, I gotta measure.
Okay.
Each square is 5 feet, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So, Tsubaki, there's also a 10 foot height difference, so really it's, I guess 55 feet really to get to Tsubaki, and 55 to get Chihiro.
50 to get to Chihiro.
Okay.
But I don't think you could see Chihiro from there because of the height difference. You'd maybe be able to see Tsubaki.
Standing on the edge. So this is up, and then I would have to go up again, or
If you just get up to the top of the stairs with Aki, you could be able to see Chihiro, if that's what you're trying to do.
yeah, I was going to go up the stairs and then try to figure. I go up the stairs, so I have to go up again to get over here, or do I?
Can you ping the map where you're trying to go?
Like right here. How do I ping it? Oh.
Just long
here?
click.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the stairs behind Akihito are the only stairs you need to climb.
Okay.
Yeah. These are.
You could get to the top of the stairs with standard movement. And then if you dashed and used your bonus action, you could get further.
Yeah, because it's in 10 feet. The stair itself requires 10 feet to climb.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Take my movement and dash. And I can get right here or further.
You could go further, I think. Well, actually, here to
Minusing the 10 foot.
Yeah, so that's so the getting here would cost you 50 movement.
And I have
Alrighty.
60 with
Yeah,
I think
so
you could.
move, like,
I think the
10
furthest you could get is there.
okay. So there I am. I'm also staring at the edge, I guess.
I mean, hey, it's not a long way down. It's just a thud with some spikes. There's some wooden spikes at the bottom, and a bunch of gears.
It's just a very ouchy thud.
Yeah, you might get ground down. There's some gears turning underneath.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to meet those gears right now.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do, Mari?
That was everything I could do, wasn't it?
You have an action technically.
Oh. So I could try to get into that mind again.
Do it.
You can sure do whatever you'd like. Do I recommend it? Not really.
Not really.
Okay, I'll just leave that alone for now.
Come on, this is PvP. Do it anyway. Make
Do it
me
anyways.
make you regret it.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Do it.
Does
Do it.
it have hand seals?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. What rank is the jutsu?
Same one I did before.
It's the same one you did before? Okay, so B rank. So I'm rolling. I don't break it.
Oh wow.
Do
Do I need to make that save?
Yeah, mine.
Mind body dance or mind transfer jutsu?
Mind body transfer.
Okay, so I need a charisma save, correct?
Yeah, you have advantage on it from my Kudogan.
Sweet. Ooh, do I trust the physical? I'm just gonna trust the physical dice on this one. That is a 16 flat.
Okay.
I think her Genjutsu save is 17, right?
17,
Yeah.
I fail.
Okay.
What does this look like on screen?
I think you see Mari. I want to pronounce the name wrong. Chihiro.
Chihiro.
Like Spirited Away Chihiro?
Okay.
It's okay.
I'm going to get it wrong. Mari just turns away from looking over the edge towards Chihiro, and you just see. It's like a. You could see like the beams of psychic energy, just because I think that's cool.
Mhm.
That look like rose petals or something like that. And the mind swap happens, and there's more petals.
Alright. So as rose petals sort of like float over between, it's like so my body transfer jutsu normally doesn't like require that it needs to be visible, but in this case you have like this beautiful rose petal stream that goes around, floats around Chihiro, and as it carries away Chihiro's consciousness and carries yours into her body, it floats. The petals sort of float back over towards your body, Mari, but
Can
Chihiro.
somebody explain what mind body transfer does to somebody who knows nothing about Naruto?
Okay, so tell me, do you want to explain, or you want me to
Does Mario want to explain it?
You can explain it. You'd probably be better.
Okay, so so what it does is when you can let's see, you can basically target one creature if you if you succeed on it. So if they fail at the save, you
Mhm.
basically put your consciousness into their body for as long as you can hold it. In this case, it's a minute. And then once you possess the body, you control it. So you basically have control of that target. But
What-
if the target takes any damage, they can immediately attempt another saving throw to end the effect. So basically, you're just taking over their body. They're still in it. You just
Does it require concentration saving throws?
does it require? It does.
Is it a concentration based thing?
No.
Nope.
And what happens to your body when you're not using it?
Their body is left where it was, unconscious. So Mari's body just sort of collapses as rose petals go towards
This is all happening simultaneously, so it's not collapsed yet. Because I'm here for the drama.
I'd like to welcome Mari into Chihiro's brain for a second or two.
Yeah.
Mari, as you step in and you take control, you find yourself in what appears to be just a very shadowed, tall, sandstone carved out ravine. Ahead are bodies, skulls, some with clothing, some without, tatters drifting along the wind, and settled on a boulder is this tall tree. Limbs twisting and reaching, but it's not right. It doesn't look alive, it doesn't look green. There's leaves hanging on, but they're dead and brittle, and there's... Well, you see Chihiro's consciousness. But you stand where her body stands, surveying the bones and the dust and the dark as the ravine just seems to tower tall and above, and there's just only this one harsh beam of sunlight beating down.
I'm so sorry. Oh, but I realize it's like midnight for some people, and I'm sorry.
Well,
The real drama
yeah.
is our sleep schedules.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Mari? I believe you've used your bonus action, your movement, and your action.
I can't do anything else right now, so.
All right. I mean, if you'd like to say something with your new body. No? Okay.
Do not worry, friend Tsubaki. I feel fine. Do not question me walking away with bots.
You know, that's what I was thinking of that.
You're gonna have to make the genjutsu checks in my body, and I failed that second one.
Oh.
Just so you know, 2 layers are still up.
I would worry more about your defenseless body directly next to a large pit
What gears?
I mean,
with gears.
this assumes
Anyways,
Tsubaki
Anyway, it's
isn't
Dr.
going into
Hito's
the pit.
turn with Tsuki.
Homie, you can try.
I mean, I'm gonna, because I am gonna activate Strength of 100. So I will put that in there. And then, yeah, looking at you at the edge, I was like, I wish we could have stayed in that village where we both were still serving our purpose truly. And then it'll kind of seem like you just teleport. It's just flavor for like just the increased speed and like strength. And then, yeah, I'm gonna straight up try and just shove Tsubaki down into the pit.
Okay, take a -2 on this roll.
All right. But I need a place to roll. Put that down to 15 on the die. I'm assuming plus like athletics.
That seems
First
reasonable.
For a shove?
So yeah.
Yeah, it seems reasonable to me.
Okay.
Unless you want to try to do some kind of like
Yeah.
grapple. Let me see. Shove. Gotta Google this.
Hey, can we just treat this like an attack? Because that's what it
Let's
is.
just do that. That's easier.
Yeah,
Like an attack
just
roll.
not doing damage because I don't want to get
Yeah.
too fancy with it. So 20.
Ooh.
Cool. You miss, but that's fine. You're right where I want you.
Dangerous.
Thanks, pal.
We'll see. And then if Mari has Chihiro's body, I don't know what's gonna. No, I'm not gonna be that stupid. Suki will grab, just kind of bite onto like Mari's dress and gently pull her away, and basically put her behind her big wolfy body. So we'll put Mari there, and then Suki will stay there, standing guard.
So...
Yeah, just swap in place.
Alright,
I
anything
think
else you'd like to do?
No, I think that would take all of her movement doing all of that. And that was action. Bonus action. Yeah, I'm good.
Alright, Tsubaki, what is your grand plan?
Cool. Hey. Look, this is what, a 10-foot gap?
Yeah.
I just hop backwards. So I go,
Our opportunity attacks the thing.
take it. Take it.
I will. That's
So less than a 22?
it is another 20, but I'll use one of our bonuses to make it 22.
Don't use your +2. Save it for something worthwhile. Seriously, I'll let you hit.
I mean,
Even
no,
with
if you,
No. Like, I'm serious. I will let you hit.
I don't trust you.
Just do it anyways.
Do it. Do it for the drama, bruh.
Bruh.
Yeah, I'm going to, but I will still say I have to use the bonus. I can't.
No.
That's fair.
No. I'm saying, don't use the bonus. I'm dropping my AC. You can hit me.
I do not trust this.
Either you can hit me and not use your bonus, or you can use your bonus and you will not hit me. Which would you rather do? That's the choice I'm giving you.
What is your character?
Hit the hit.
It's more
Hit the hit.
I'll take the hit just for the funsies. I want to see what happens.
Great.
I mean, so that is 12, 15, 8, or 23 damage.
Okay. So, thanks. I immediately make an attack against you.
While they're floating backwards.
Before I jump, my weapon is poisoned, and if I hit here, I crit. You're also hexed from an earlier turn.
That's one.
That's a 20 on its own. Plus, it was the first turn that you came up to me. I can bonus action to hex. But it doesn't take hand seals or anything. I just hex you.
Okay, that was not mentioned during your turn.
Oh, did
so
I not
that's why
say?
was confused.
Oh, I can go without the hex. We can do this without the hex. That's fine. My bad. That's my bad. I should have made that more clear.
Yeah.
Cool. So that was a natural 20, which is going to beat your AC because it's a 29 with my spear.
Strength of 100 makes my AC 30, just for this specific situation. I'm kidding.
Oh, Does it or does it not?
No, God,
I think
no.
that's a
Okay,
joke.
okay.
That was a
I
joke.
don't know what your shit does. My weapon I poisoned before we got here, which I did put in a chat to Michelle, and so I'm going to be rolling 64 plus 2d8 on this, and I
No, I should have
think
hit you with the fist slam.
That's
I mean you
gross.
could have.
That's gross.
So we have both apparently both of the Reapers are just made for massive hits.
But yeah, I hit you once and you really don't like it. Okay, so I'll roll these in here because that's more dice than I have available. Roll.
Oh, I only saw the 10 that from your last roll. I'm like, that's not that bad.
Yeah, it's less than ideal. Oh god. Okay, so that's 29 damage with the modifier from my spear.
Okay.
29. And now I'm over here, and that was a reaction. Is Mari helpless right now?
Unconscious, helpless, and all you have to do to break her out of her current jutsu is to hit her.
Bonus action, chakra scalpel. Action, heart, throw.
Wowies.
I can do that as an attack, but it's a coup de grace.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, go. I mean, Mari, you can do basically nothing right now, unless you have.
Can Suki make it at least at disadvantage because she is protecting
Yes.
Mari?
Yeah.
I feel like she could make an attack against me, but it's not like she adds any. She doesn't make Mari not helpless.
I'm saying she's like literally standing over her body.
I will say, Mari in Chihiro's body can cast the jutsu that she knows. If she has a reaction jutsu that she knows, she could try to cast those. But otherwise, chakra scalpel's gonna go through.
Let me see if I have a reaction one. I don't think I do, but I want to just check.
Hey, it never hurts to double check your jutsus.
Would chakra shatter do that? Get rid of the chakra knife?
It's not a jutsu. That's a
Oh.
class feature.
It does not have hand seals on top of that anyways. At least from what I remember of the chakra scalpels from Naruto.
No, it's functionally like a weapon that I can equip.
You just summon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, Tsubaki, make your attack.
Okay. So, what's the damage rule for coup de grace?
Coup de grace? Coup de grace.
Coup de grace.
Coup de grace.
It's dumb in French.
I know. No. What I'm saying is they named it coup de grace.
Okay, it's
for coup de grace.
a automatic critical hit. So I think that just means I'm rolling a slightly different flavor of what I just rolled.
Just about, yeah.
That's 27 damage. As I just like tear into Mari.
So just the 27 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget, like, for your calculations, your health had been bumped up by 15 at the start of the fight.
So it eats through 15 of that, so it'd be...
Yep. Also, Mari, your consciousness has been forced back into your body.
Okay.
I'd like to imagine this thematically as we get the cut of Tsubaki doing the scalpel knife, or chakra scalpel into the body and the coup de grace. But we get that flip back to the camera as the tree limbs just yank. And as Mari's forcibly, like, removed out.
And
I don't
and
know.
Tsubaki
Sorry.
says, "Leave before one of us has to die." And I will say, Tsubaki hates doing this, and she is like crying as she does it. But there's like absolutely no hesitation when it comes to any of you making a move against the two of them.
Fair enough. Was there something else wanted to do? Oh, sorry.
Did Suki get a free bite in trying to protect Mari, or no?
I think you would get a reaction if I left, right? Because they just count as a combatant, right?
Yeah. No, it's there's a special feat that gets you opportunity attacks when they come in. Yeah, no, you're right. No, so she can't do nothing. She's barking.
Not yet. And that's the end of my turn.
Alright. Chihiro, you are back to being awake and in your body.
And Chihiro finally speaks, for at least Mari and Akihito to hear. It's going to take a bit longer. Sorry. You okay out there, Tsubaki?
I'm well. Deeply disappointed, though.
Then I will do my best to make sure we can get out of here and no longer have to shed any blood. I'd like to do the illusions check again, please.
Give it a roll.
And I'm going to preemptively just dump one of our +2s into this one, if that is okay.
Go for it.
All right.
Well,
so that's
unless you want Vermin's okay with that one too. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Vermin.
Oh yeah, go for it. I haven't needed it.
Do you have a needed? I mean, I guess I know Vermin specifically has a specific +2 to you.
You've got so many +2s. I think.
And we have a big bowl of steel +2s. May I just grab another +2 from our bowl? Cool. I'm gonna make it a preemptive +11 because that's what Chihiro would do. The dice gods have listened. 27.
27 is a pass. This time you are prepared as the genjutsu, as the warping of the metal around that starts to sort of tear itself in large limbs that seem to, they all freeze in place and they shatter bit by bit. As you ripped apart the second layer of genjutsu, and now remains only one.
And Tsubaki, again, Chihiro just calls out over her shoulder. One left! Keep him off me, please.
Alright.
And that's my turn.
Alright. Next up, Mari, you have just been punted back into your body.
Very ouchied.
Yeah. Slightly. No, really ouchy. Okay. Well, no, I just won't do it this time. But I have this thing that if I get damaged, I have an escape.
Should probably use that next time.
Probably use that next time. You were prone and not in your body the first time you got hit.
Flower petal escape is what you're looking at? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't have been able to do that with your reaction because you're technically in my body.
Yeah. I was not attacking Chihiro, I was attacking unconscious body.
I gotta see where I am with them.
I will say, Mari, to help inform your decisions, you would have at the very least come to with Chihiro's announcement of one left, please keep them off of me, to Tsubaki, to Tsubaki on that. At the very least. I mean, you could also come to right as Chihiro started talking to Tsubaki, but that's your decision. But I would let you know that you at least heard that bit.
Sorry, it's a hard choice to decide what to do right now.
It's okay. I was just giving you extra information to help.
I can make it easy. Respect the fact that I saved your life earlier. I don't want to hurt you. Please leave.
But I want to play.
I know. We have fun here.
We do.
I mean, alternatively, you could just give us the box.
I'm saying this in character, but like, I think if Tsubaki fails this mission, she's either executed or in jail. Like, there's no way that you can have 3 high-profile missions where Tsubaki functionally aids the other side,
And not go against
without
her
like being
severely.
extremely fucked.
And severely court-martialed on top of that. Also, not for nothing, but with Tsubaki, I'm betting that Tsubaki would know that they would spare Chihiro no quarter, too.
Yeah.
Also,
Look, I'm
we
just
don't have the
acting
box yet.
in my own best interests here.
We also don't have the box yet. I still have 1 layer of Genjutsu to get to before we can even get to the Funjutsu that's on the fucker.
I mean, you have a key.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
That's true.
Shh, Michelle.
It's not like they weren't here when we had the brief or anything.
Hey guys, I think they have a key. No, her taught this guy.
Well, I literally have nothing to do right now. So
You got anything dramatic to say to the woman whose hands are covered in your gore?
I have nothing to lose right now.
That's fair. Then that makes 2 of us.
I've only got a couple of friends, no family. So, and then I want to do psychic blast.
Hey!
You blasting me psychically?
I'm doing a 30-foot. It's a 30-foot cone. I'm doing
Yeah,
it.
do I have to make another fucking thing?
No, if it's a cone, it can only hit me or you.
Yeah.
Yes. My love, my anger, and all of my sorrow.
Yeah.
What do I do to not have that happen?
The psychic blast.
Yeah, is that like an AC? Is that against my AC or what?
It's a wisdom save.
Oh, it's a wisdom. Well, good news. Good news, everybody. I'm pretty good at those.
Grand news, everyone.
Okay, is a 21 good enough off the bat? It is, right? Okay, do I take half damage or something?
It's half damage.
Okay, roll them up. So tell me what's bad.
Tell me the ouchies.
Let's see, 5, 10. So
14.
14.
14.
Okay, cool.
14 psychic damage. Alright. Is that it for you, Mari?
Let me do this math. Yeah, sorry, I was doing my math wrong.
It's okay.
Math is difficult.
Math hard.
Math is really hard. Alright.
No, I'm just angry now. Like I said, I have nothing to lose, so I'm just kind of attacking wildly now.
Hey, if that's what you feel like Mari's like current recourse is right now, that's fair.
I mean, hey. You're in pain. All right. I guess
Lots of it.
Yeah. Is there anything? So if that's all you'd like to do,
Yeah.
then Akihito, it is now your turn.
All right, I will once again spend 6 chakra to cure myself of being poisoned.
You weren't poisoned. It's damage poison.
Ah, okay. I thought it was a poison.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Then assuming I can see Chihiro, it's gonna be pain time.
I did nothing to you. I did nothing.
Let's see.
Give me a
This is
second.
sort of-
You might have a bonus of my wisdom my wisdom modifier to your AC, because I can see you. I'm gonna check that.
I am perceived.
I don't know if it matters because with Fist Slam I crit on a 19 and I rolled a 19.
Oh, then it would do nothing.
And this
It
is
wasn't a crit on a 19. If it wasn't a crit on a 19, you would have missed.
this is well, I don't know how to tell you. If it wasn't a crit, it still would have been 29.
Have we got any -2s in the chat?
I don't know if they count
How
for
does
crits.
that
Anyways,
qualify here?
They don't count. Besides that, it's still a crit. It's still a crit. If it's a
Yeah,
crit.
no. I'm joking. I don't actually want to take that away from you.
So it is my unarmed damage, which is now 3d10 because of strength of 100, which now goes to 6d10. And then 68 with Fist Slam, so now that's 12d8.
How much?
So 91 damage.
91?
91?
Yeah.
You're a terrible medic. You're great
I'm
at
not.
punching, but you're a terrible medic.
Hey now.
So just for
Mars-
The best Tylenol is punching somebody else in the throat.
frame of
Look, I
reference,
have-
everyone.
It's my right fist and my left fist.
Hi, Chihiro's down for the fucking count. I'm gone. That plus it ate through my 19. The 91 ate through my temp 19. Total HP together I had was like, if my math is right, is 78 with the temp H. And that was a
So,
91.
as he comes over and she's like, I got one more to do, Akihito just that flat fist right into her chest to knock the wind out of her. She's like, I'm sorry. But I will immediately, as a bonus, wait, hold on, is it a bonus action? Yes. I will use Preserve Life to stabilize her.
You can expend that, but it does nothing.
Oh, is she just straight up dying?
No.
Well, I'm still down to 0, I think.
She's down to 0, and then is back up at 1 HP. As a chakra seal dissolves off of her.
Oh, I think order of operations, that would happen before I stabilize her.
Yeah.
Does that look like just getting fist punched, unconscious, and then back up immediately? Tell me what that looks like.
So from last episode, we've seen
I don't know. It's Freeze trying to correct me if I was
Tsubaki
wrong.
have
on
that
math.
have that seal on her that let her revive. She cast that on both of them when they were in the medical tent.
Yep.
Right.
And it doesn't have any expiration date as far as I can see. Otherwise, I would be functionally out of chakra right now. But yeah, immediately back up at 1 HP as that seal dissolves.
I'd like to imagine, as
I'm preparing to fight Sei.
Yeah. Also,
I
I'd
need
like
this.
I'd like to imagine as Akihito does that flat fist, and as Akihito sees that chakra seal dissolve before he can work on the stabilization. There's just that, and just because she's wearing the half mask, he's not covered in it. He doesn't get most of it yet, but there's still like droplets of her blood because you punched her in the fucking sternum, my boy. You got her good. There's still like just droplets of blood make it through and just sort of splatter on him as she just.
Also, I hate to be that guy, but since he's still up, with martial competency, I can immediately use a bonus action to make another attack. So 23.
I've done nothing to you all. The 23 hits.
Okay. It's not 91 damage, it's only 12. No, sorry. 7.
I am into death saves, aren't I?
Oh, you're
think so.
unconscious again?
Yep. Back out.
For real this time. And then Suki gets an attack. So she's going to try and attack. What is her to attack? It's not high. 23 to hit Tsubaki.
Barely does it.
All right. Where is it? Iron Fangs. That's just 44. Plus nothing, so 9 damage.
Okay.
I think I've done as much damage as I can.
Cool. Hey, Janie, just for like knowing's sake, how full of blood are you at this moment? Like, you got a good amount of blood left in you, or should I attack the dog instead?
Yeah, I got 44.
Okay, you got blood. Great.
I got blood in me.
I'm assuming you want me to. We're gonna advance the turn then.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Cool. I am going to use my bonus action. Like, Tsubaki kind of clinically turns and turns back to Mari and is going to reach out with both chakra scalpeled hands. You're stabilized right now, Rainy, as I use Preserve Life. And Mari, I'm attacking you. That is a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Cool. I'm gonna roll some damage. What is the plus on that? Oh, you know what? How much does that cost? Yeah.
Shit.
Okay, so that's plus. Okay, so I'm rolling. I'm upcasting that once, adding my wisdom modifier because it's a medical ninjutsu. That's 44 damage.
Nope. Okay, I am.
You're at what?
0.
0.
Oh, 0. Great. Hey, Rainy, you heal for 22.
I'm back up again.
And this is again that thing that Tsubaki has done on the show several times of just like shoving hands into somebody and then having that like green glow off of the Kurugan that has already made her irises white as she transfers Mari's life force into Chihiro.
Yikes.
I do not want to do this. Stop, Akihiro. We can still walk away from this, all of us.
I think we both know it's far past that. Neither of us can walk away from here this easily.
Do the lives that I helped you save mean nothing?
It means the same to me as the lives that died underneath this Zeppelin.
They were not my doing.
I do not blame you. This is not a personal attack, and I know you are not attacking us out of any personal hatred. What I hate is that this war continues. I think the Alliance has the better chance of succeeding.
Succeeding? Succeeding! The thing that killed people in the Summons Village! It lives on hate! All this war does, with every death, is advance that. You want to bring back a Zeppelin so that they can rain fire on the earth? And the fire and the lightning lands? Don't kid yourself, Akihiro!
Do not stand there like your side has the moral high ground.
We don't!
Starting to learn. This is war. People die. We have made our decision to stand with what side we are standing with. Don't lecture me as if I don't understand the weight of what's happening here. I can't prevent these deaths any more than you can.
No, you take.
Everyone in the Summons Village would have died, if not for me. I will kill whatever is rotting in this world with my own hands if I have to. And I know where to start. What do you know, Akihiro?
I know that I don't know a lot. I'll give you that. But as I said, I just want this all to end. Your side doesn't seem to want it. The leaders on our side barely want it as well. How about a compromise then? Destroy the box. That serves neither side. And helps no one. It doesn't help fuel this war either.
Tsubaki will earnestly look at Chihiro.
I don't know what. I don't know what destroying the box will do to you or to me. But it won't be good.
If we destroyed it to keep it from falling into enemy hands, that's better than them having it. They'll look lightly on that. More so than if we know they walked away with it.
You're right. And Chihiro just sort of looks up. I know this isn't my turn yet, but Chihiro just looks up at you, Akihiro, and just sort of pulling off the mask, now soaked in her blood, and just the blood that's just caked just on her jaw from her mouth, from where you've hit her. I want you to take a good look at me. And remember one thing. Reaper. Honorable as you may be, and honorable as you may consider your cause, the reason why Earth Country started this whole damn mess was because we are starving! Starving.
Chihiro, the locks.
Fine, but I do not need any more interference. Understood.
Akihiro, stand back.
Yeah.
I'll be ready. I will be ready to
to
tend.
help her up. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I will be ready to tend to Mari as soon as the box is destroyed.
Yeah, and
there's just
Akihito
like a gentle hand on her chest.
would offer to help Chihiro, whether or not she takes it. I assume not, but
No, she
Well,
will, as she
yeah.
just gives that whole spiel about the Earth country starving.
And while you do, as a sign of his good faith, I will use Healing Hands and channel it to give you extra healing. So it's 2d10 plus. Ooh, so that's not bad. 11 plus my intelligence, 14, making it channeled. So 15 total health. Just as I assume we're moving kind of out of combat, it sounds like, so do think that a little bit out of order. If you allow, Michelle.
Yes, I will allow this. In fact,
If Janie wants to make death saves and wake up and attack me, I don't know if Janie, that's something that you would want to do.
It is your birthday now, Janie.
It is your birthday. You could fuck me up as a treat.
No, she was
And?
sort of when she wakes up, she starts kind of sobbing because she woke up again.
Aw.
No.
No.
We'll get there then.
yeah, I think Chihiro, if you want to make that last genjutsu check, go ahead and make that with advantage.
All right, and yeah. I know the command was typed in chat earlier, but also my two dice are right here.
Akihito, remind me what your passive perception is.
Nat 20! Nat 20!
19.
Nat 20! 29!
Okay.
Sorry.
So, alright, so first off, you shatter the last, completely shatter the last layer. This was the most difficult layer. This had all of your father's tricks. The tiny little sprinkles. It's like the most complex weave. Like the first two were brute force. The last one was the most subtle shit. Like gossamer spring webs of traps buried all over here and there. And as it shatters, you see a doorway revealed, and you're also standing over a dead body. But the door swings open as the last genjutsu is broken. What are you guys going to do? There's a thrum as is revealed of a force field made by a ring of chakra seals.
I presume I have I still have the Fuinjutsu key.
Yep.
So Chihiro, knowing that there are eyes watching her, just sort of flips it out. And I'm presuming the seal is what the key is too, correct, for the box? She'll just sort of unceremoniously just slam it down on the floor and just sort of wait, simmering, I guess, a little bit, especially Tsubaki and I presume Akihito too, now that he's healed her, can feel like just the simmering of just the anger from her.
And the two.
I should also note that for Tsubaki, Chihiro's eyes have been perfectly crystalline clear this entire encounter. Take that what you will. But yeah, I'm breaking the seal.
So with a shatter, the force field that now that you're standing next to Chihiro, so Akihito, you can see this too. There's definitely something that's pretty deadly if you were to just try to touch it. Almost like it's like electrocuted. As the force field shatters, the black box is just a simple black lacquered wood, sealed tight. But it lays almost innocently against the floor. Tsubaki and Akihito, with your passive perception of 18 and 14, you felt a sort of resonance of chakra, as you didn't notice before while you were having your heated discussion, but you felt it when Chihiro spoke. That resonance of hatred filled the Zeppelin. Perhaps it's not concerning right now as it sort of dims a little. You can feel you had missed a critical threshold, but it might not be long before you have company.
Does it feel like the corrupted chakra that I'm used to working with?
It's not quite there yet.
But
But
it
The
rhymes.
more you talked, right? The more you talked, the greater that feeling built.
Yeah. At that point, I think Tsubaki is going to do hand seals to heal Mari, and is looking to Akihiro to be like ready to do something. I'm going to be conceited here for a second and assume that I'm probably, between the two of us, assumed to be the better healer, given my class versus yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Don't
You do medical nin shit as like a bonus, and that's like my class's thing. Okay, cool.
You're the one who healed me.
Tsubaki did.
Yeah, I did that.
What specialty is Tsubaki?
I am a medical nin, and I am a shaman.
Yeah, that's why. Because Akihito is Mednin, but he went combat healer.
Yeah. I have a bunch of things that let me throw my like wisdom modifier on my heals. Cool. I'm just gonna give you the easy stuff, which is okay. Heal up for 19 plus 4, 23. You're up at 23.
Okay, thank you.
What happens when you wake up? You said you were gonna cry.
Yeah, I just look at you and I just cry. Why did you heal me?
The world's seen enough death.
There's no point to any of this. Just so much death, and there's just no point. This is stupid. I don't know.
Is it okay if like Tsubaki kind of like cups Mari's like the side of her head and kind of does forehead to forehead for a second?
Yeah.
She leans in and she says, "This only gets better if people like us do the right thing. We're destroying the box, and neither side can have it. We all need you're a good person. You can make a difference. Don't let them control us." I'm sorry.
I'll try. It's just harder with each battle.
Tsubaki will stand up, and yeah, there's absolutely like a grease paint stain on Mari's forehead from the like transfer.
It's never transfer proof. It never is.
Clown makeup. It gets everywhere. Tsubaki will turn to Akihiro. Do whatever you can to put sand in the gears of this machine. You won't be the only one.
Okay, I'm trying to think of some, but I think, yeah, Akihiro just quietly nods. One more complicated moral decision he's had to make in the last few months.
Rainy, you weren't laughing because you planned on taking the box back, right?
No.
You were laughing at
No,
what
I
was in
was
chat?
like-
Okay.
I was laughing
Cool.
at what was in chat. I was exactly laughing what was in chat. Terrible. No, so Chihiro, I'm assuming, still has free reign with the box, and as Akihiro goes to take the gears, Chihiro just picks up the box and just walks over to the pit. Looks down.
The gear's still turning as we watch this happen.
Yeah.
GM? Okay.
They're grinding slowly.
But enough to crush a box, correct?
Oh yeah.
Chihiro just drops it.
I imagine the shot is the four of us standing over the hole. You can see each of our faces as the box gets dropped. And it just like fades way further out than it has any, like, there's no way that the pit is that deep, but it
Yeah.
just fades out until it's just a pinpoint of light. And then it's blackness.
Yeah, and you just hear the just destruction of the box here. I'd like to note that Chihiro's face is just indifference, as it were, and she just, as the shot returns back to the floor over the pit, she looks over to Tsubaki. We've got a long walk back to cover our story with. You and I can just say the enemy knocked it out of our hands and fell into the still grinding gears. Unfortunate.
There's a large tear as paper, the sound of paper is ripped.
Bruise on your chest will go a long way towards selling that story.
And the loss of the Death Ward.
And Chihiro just starts removing the half mask and wrings out some of her blood. Well, I do look like a very sorry sight for the commanders. Don't think I'll get that Jonin rank, though.
Perhaps
Shame.
when you finish a mission without being killed.
You get killed all the time too?
And Chihiro just sort of laughs a bit. Well, my record was actually particularly spotless until I joined up with our fellow with this friendly Reaper here.
I think I've been killed at least once every time, haven't I?
I've always made sure you never stopped breathing. You may have taken intermittent naps, but I may not be as good a healer as Tsubaki, but I've done that much at least.
You seem to definitely still hold your Reaper-ness.
Tsubaki smirks. Perhaps my style is a bit too reactive.
And perhaps mine is a bit too naive.
War is going to change us all, you know. None of these countries banded together for the right reasons. That's what we all tell ourselves in the end. It's something funny my dad once said. People are so easy to trick. You tell them things to assuage their darkest fears, their deeper guilts. And yet those in power, they're different. They hunger, but not for the same way their common folk do. But that's enough relaxing philosophical out of me. I know I am a bit bloodied, but I still have quite a bit left in me to get us back to Camp Tsubaki.
Let's make a walk of it. I'm not eager to see that place again.
There.
Farewell. And Tsubaki leaves, unless somebody stops her.
Chihiro will pause behind a moment as we get that like sort of shot of Tsubaki leaving the Zeppelin, and she just gives a very large grin to both Mari and Akihito. This was fun, but next time if you do attack me, I won't hold back. And then she just walks off and starts following behind, starting to potentially act perhaps a little more injured than she is.
Nick Mari.
So if you want to sell the story, I'll throw more hands.
Akihito Mari, are you...
No, she's just staring creepily, like she does. Not creepy, I guess. Haunted.
Just staring.
Yeah, just staring.
Akihito would just stare at the... Oh, go ahead.
No, so by the way, she doesn't look like anything touched her. She doesn't look injured.
I mean, she wouldn't. Like, Tsubaki did all of her damage by shoving her hands through.
But even her, like,
through her.
Yeah, no, you're good. You've got no... The only thing you've got on you is the grease paint transfer from the forehead.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the mental trauma.
It's gone?
Yeah, the white gown is spotless.
Ho-ho.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Alright, anything else from you, Akihito?
I don't know. If Mari would like, knowing that she did take some pretty big hits, Akihito would offer her to ride on Suki as they make their way back to the camp. She is a very large dog, so she can carry one small person.
So as we end on this scene where Tsubaki and Chihiro make their way out to the east. I did get that direction correctly. And Tsuki, Akihito, and Mari make their way back towards the west. I think that's a great place for us to come to a close. But before we end, I do have to give a very quick end scene because we've been ending our sessions with a little bit of an end scene. And I'll keep it a little brief for you all before we end this. Far away, in the mountain valley range bordering the lands of water and lightning, bamboo forest, utterly silent, stands a man in a rabbit mask. Before him, the scattered corpses of a team of Inazuma torn to pieces. Bloody violet markings crawl over the man, their movements lifelike, and off in the distance, a person. Cloaked in the writhing shadows of the forest, a mouse half mask over their face, watches the carnage and laughs. Friends, thank you for joining us for a game of A Blade's Will, our Naruto 5e rotating one-shot war campaign, and for joining these four lovely folks from two different sides, the Alliance and the Coalition. That was a twist. Wow, you guys really pulled this made this a lot more interesting. This is very good. But it is getting late, so we're gonna get these folks out as soon as possible. So starting in, let's do this in reverse order this time. So please tell us who you are, who you play today, and where else we can find you on the internet, because you're all amazing people and everyone should see more of you all. So let's start off with Rainy.
Hi, hello. I'm Rainy. Rainy Keys at Rain Keys on Twitter, and Rainy Keys on Tumblr, because Twitter seems to be a trash fire these days. You have seen me here as Chihiro for the beautiful, wonderful game ever run by Michelle. But you guys can also find me starting Saturday at 7:30 p.m. EST, right back here on NLR, for our premiere episode of Bite Marks, Lunar Pulse. I'll be playing as Molly O'Connor, the prodigal of the Green Force pack, who's come back for either better or worse. That's enough out of me. I'll pass it along down to my friend.
And next up, it's the most legendary of vermin. Sorry, it's late.
That's me! I'm Legendary Vermin. Wow! You can find me as Legendary Vermin on all the places on the internet that matter, which is, of course, including the dumpster fire of Twitter, the trash fire of YouTube, the relatively nice but difficult to navigate garbage maze of itch.io, and various other unsundry, constantly crumbling pieces of internet infrastructure. I make games. You can check out some of my work on Itch, or you can see it played here live, alternating Wednesdays as part of Stardust Ghosts. That game is, of course, no amount of armor, and wow, I just love watching my friends bring it to life. It's so nice. If you want to see more of me, I have a show next Monday on this channel, which will be our bass boosted and spray paint splattered take on Voidheart Symphony, which is, of course, The World Within You. You can also catch me for our rapidly closing out game of Animon Story that is called With the Will. Yes. Where you can see us all. We've all become Digimon now. It's great. And fulfilling for these characters in a lot of ways. But if you want to see people become fulfilled and then die, you should check me out on Singularity Roleplay, where once a month I get to be part of a group of teens who are going to be slowly murdered at their fake conversion summer camp. And that is hosted by Meg Mysteria on Singularity, and the name of the campaign is Camp Runners Cross. There we go. That's all I got. See you around.
All right, next up.
Quad.
Yeah. Next up, DJ. Tell us who you are, where we can find you.
I am DJ Stevosaurus. That's where you'll find me on Twitter. And yeah, it is a hellscape, but I like contributing to with fire. I played Inuzuka Akihito, your friendly neighborhood dog tour, who does more punching than dog touring, apparently. I don't know why I say apparently. I know what I made. I know what I'm doing here. Anyways, yes, you can also find me Saturday with Rainy on Neon Lights Roleplay Bite Marks as Percy McDonough, your friendly neighborhood asshole. I cannot wait for you all to meet him. Otherwise, I will be on a couple of upcoming projects on Lost Caravans RPG as well, so you can find me around.
All right. And then last, but certainly not least, Janie.
Hi, everybody. And that's what I have going on.
Fair enough. It's
I
late.
have stuff going on.
Please tell us.
It's
tell
late.
us.
I didn't. Let's see. I can't do the words.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
Janie is regularly on Singularity Roleplay, so if you want to see something by her, go check out their calendar. You'll find lots of Janie there.
So much Janie on Singularity. It's the best.
You're also on Cold Hands Warm Hearts, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's here as well.
I'm here too a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
It's late.
It's late.
It's late. It's Janie's birthday.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday,
what's your-
Janie.
Yeah, what's your
It's
happy
happy
birthday
birthday.
now?
Yeah, I'm a bouncer.
Legally, you have to say it, chat.
You are legally bound.
To now wish Janie a happy birthday. Thank you. Alright. I guess that just leaves me, and I'll also keep it short. Hi, I'm Michelle. I played everyone besides these guys here, and you can find me here, because I don't social media, so don't go looking for anywhere else. If you want to know what else I'm in here, you can figure that one out. It's late, and you guys should all go to sleep. So thank you all for coming to see us play. Thank you to my wonderful players for staying up late to play with this and being amazing RPers and oh, holy crap. And yeah, now's a good time to leave. So Spree, please take us out.